Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today is Sunday, February 16th. It's my husband's birthday, so happy birthday to him. We're under a winter weather advisory. We have gotten so much snow in upstate New York. It's incredible. Enough to last us the rest of our lives. But today is freezing rain, so there's travel advisories and travel bans, and there's lots of freezing rain on top of very large piles of snow and snowy roads. And so I decided to film finally my fountain pen collection. The last time I've done this video was 2 years ago. I'm still storing my fountain pens in my machinist toolbox that I got from my husband's father, who passed away before I was able to meet him. And I was the lucky one to end up with the toolbox. He worked for Pratt & Whitney forever, for years and years. And it's a great place to store my pens. As you probably saw in the intro, I've pulled out all of the drawers with all the pens, and then I also have my Superior Labor leather pen roll with my currently inked pens, so I will show you those as well. But currently my fountain pen collection stands at 77 pens. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. So I hope this video isn't too long. I'm not going to go into too much detail on each pen. The way that I keep track of my fountain pens is in this notebook. This is a traveler style notebook. This is a leather cover that I got on Etsy from a place called Twsbi. It's beautiful. I have 2 inserts in this, and this is my pen inventory, if you will. So I started this log in May of 2024, it looks like. But I've used this before 2024. I think I probably used it 2022, 2023 also. But these are new notebooks, new inserts. Because after a while they get messy when pens sell. I just kind of cross them out, and we're going to go through this, and then I will pull the pen. So, but they're not in like specific order of when, well, they kind of are in specific order in the second book of as they come in, I record the pen. But basically what is in here is each page has a pen where I list the pen and the nib size and where I bought it and when I bought it, and then each time I ink it up. But I haven't been really great about keeping track of that regularly, mostly. But you'll see, there are gaps. And in the back of the notebook, each page is numbered. And in the back of the notebook, I have a log. I believe I got this idea from Simona, but so page 1 lists the pen and the nib size. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'll flip you and we will continue this video. But the first one on the list is Kaweco Brass Sport. Here she is. I don't have a clip. I only have one clip, one Kaweco clip, and I move it around on all my pens as I use them, just for a little extra weight. This one obviously doesn't need any extra weight because it's a pretty weighty pen. But this is the Kaweco Brass Sport, made in Germany. It's a completely brass pen. It's got a gold colored double broad nib, and it is juicy for sure. I also don't have converters for every pen, so I use these cartridges a lot and refill them. But this is a great pen. I really love it. I'll never get rid of it. It's getting a nice patina on it, and it's pretty weighty, but I really enjoy writing with this one. And you can see the last time it was inked up was September, and that's the ink I had in there. Next up is my Kaweco Sport Galen Leather exclusive. This colorway is Cognac, and this has a gold toned broad nib. I was going through my broad era at that time. A friend of mine, my friend Sid, and I both have these pens. We bought them together. I love this color. This is a good one. I never want to get rid of this one. It's got a nice little Kaweco gold toned, what is this called? The end cap? Finial? As you can see, it doesn't have any converter or cartridge in there, but I do have a bunch of converters in this drawer that I would throw in. And as you can see, it's been a while since I've inked this one up. Kaweco Sport Dark Olive. I got at Vanessa Pens in June of 22. This one has the clip on it. This has a gold toned broad nib. Doesn't have any converter or cartridge in it currently, but I really do like the gold accents on these. My Kaweco Sport Smooth Sage is another favorite. And this has silver accents. I got this at Pen Boutique. It's got a double broad nib. I got this back in November of 2022. The last time I inked this one up was November. And as you can see in this writing sample, it's very broad. Very, very broad. My Kaweco Sport Macchiato. This is the very popular pink one that everybody loves. I have a double broad silver tone nib on this. And I got it from Yoseka in 2020. This is one of my oldest pens in my collection. I inked it up in September and then again in November. Glinda wasn't a great option. That's a bit of a dry ink, even in this double broad, but it did well with the Azuki. My Kaweco Art Sport in Terrazzo. This is a built-in clip, so it doesn't get removed. It's got the gold trim. It's that beautiful Terrazzo-inspired body. I love the Art Sport. It's great. I have this with a broad nib, but I believe I bought this with a fine nib. And I took the fine out and put a broad in. I got this at Alice Stationers in March of 2024. The last time I inked it up was July of 2024, and I had Ferris Wheel Press Frontenac Blue in it, and it was a lovely pairing. All right, there is two more that will come later, but there are these two. But I guess I'll go over them when I get to them. The next is my Twsbi Eco in Royal Jade. Actually, maybe you don't need to see the book. And I'll just do this. I have a couple of Twsbis. I really enjoy them. This was one of those limited edition Royal Jade with the rose gold trim. I got this at Vanessa Pens in December of 2022. It has a broad nib. a great writer, piston filler. The last time I inked this up was July of 2024, and I put Diamine Golden Oasis in it. It was a great pairing. Lovely. Another Twsbi Eco in Indigo Bronze. Another one of those limited edition, I believe they are. It's this beautiful dark blue color. Looks a little brighter in the camera, but it's a navy kind of color. And it's got this beautiful bronze trim. Also a piston filler. I have a medium nib on this. That's when I started my medium phase. This I bought at the Paper Mouse in March of 2024 because it was sold out everywhere else. I don't normally buy from the Paper Mouse, but it was a great experience, and I definitely recommend you check them out. The last time I inked this up was August 24, and I used Pilot Asajai. No, it's like the periwinkle blue one. And that was really great pairing. Twsbi Eco Saffron has, you know, the typical rhodium trim. This has also a medium nib on it, the silver tone rhodium trim. Goulet pens, I got this at Goulet in July of 2023. And I love inking this up with yellow type inks, so I inked it in 2024 with Birmingham Pen Company Phoenix, and then in January of 25 with Pannonia, the Scriptus 24 Special Edition ink. And both worked really well in this medium nib. I also have a Twsbi Go, which I got the clear one. This doesn't have a clip, but it does have like this little loop where I can add whatever I want, a little charm or whatever. That could be kind of fun. It's got the Twsbi finial. This has a spring-loaded converter, kind of like a piston. This fills up in here with the ink. I have a broad nib on this. This is a great pen for shimmers, things like that. I got this at Jet Pens in March of 2020. It's also another one of the OGs. And I have not inked it in quite a while. Twsbi Diamond Mini. Where are you? Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is the mint one. This is one of my favorite pens of all time. I did not write down where I bought this one. I cannot remember. But if I had to guess, I would say Jet Pens. I've had this quite a long time. This has a broad nib. It's got the rhodium trim. I inked it up in August 24 with Wearingeul Earth from the Earth to the Moon. That was a really good pairing. In September, I put Wearingeul Path. It does really well with shimmers. One of my favorite inks to put in this pen is J. Urban Coral de Tropique. It's a coral color. It works really great in this pen. I love the pairing. Pilot Custom 823. Oh no, this is not that's not the one. That's why, that's the Asvine. It's funny because they look so similar. Okay, here we go. This is the Pilot Custom 823 in amber. But look at this similarity. It's a little bit of a different color. Anyway, Anderson pens. This was the tester in the store. It has a broad nib, so I got a little bit of a deal on it, which was great. It has a beautiful, broad, very juicy nib. It's got some ink residue in there, so that's unfortunate. I don't know how to get that out of there. I bought this back in 2023, and it's a great pen. I would love to get another one in a medium, but they are a hefty price tag. As you can see, the Diamine Evergreen, it's very, very broad nib. So as you can see, here's the first sold pen. I sold this pen on eBay. This was my Pilot E95S in burgundy with a medium nib. I sold it on eBay, I want to say in either 23 or 24. I can't recall now, and I didn't write it down. Why did I sell that pen? It was just too narrow for me. I really like very thick, girthy pens, and that one was just not very comfortable to write with. So on this page, I filled in the newest, one of the newest Benus. This is the Benu Astro Gem in Midas. It has a medium steel nib. This is a very, very nice Schmidt nib. I love the Schmidt nibs. This I got at Atlas Stationers in November of 2024, so it's relatively new. I inked it up in the beginning with Sailor Shikiori Tokiwa Matsu. That was awesome. And also Colorverse Brain, and it did really well with that shimmer. So definitely love Benu pens. I really like the Astro Gem, and my other currently inked Benu is the Talisman, and I like those models the best. I'm not really a big fan of the Euphoria, just the look of it. This one is really nice and girthy though. I love it. My Pilot Vanishing Point. This is such a great pen. I love it. It has the black with gold trim. I got this at Vanessa Pens in March of 2024. And it has a medium nib. It's an extremely bouncy nib. Simona actually gave me, well, we did a swap. And I have a medium steel nib for it as well. And I actually really enjoy that one as well. But I inked this back up in September with this Ackerman SBRE brown, and it was a great pairing. I like the black because I can put any color in it. I don't know why I don't feel that way in every pen, no matter the color, but that's the way it is. Next up on my list is one of my currently inked. This is the Pilot Custom Heritage 912 in black with silver trim. I got this at Vanessa Pens in May of 2024. It's got a beautiful medium nib. Absolutely wonderful. These are 14 karat gold or 18 karat gold. Hard to say. I'll put it on the screen. This does have ink in it, as you can see. And I adore this pen. It is so good. I bought it because I wanted to compare it to my Imperial Black Sailor Pro Gear. And maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But in February, I have this inked in Waterman Inspired Blue, which is a great, it works with every ink. I haven't put any shimmer in it, but it works really great with these non-shimmer, non-sheening inks. I got this, oh yeah, I said that already, Vanessa Pens. Here's another sold pen, another two sold pens. My Pilot Kakuno in clear I sold. I also sold the Pilot Prera with the red finials in the clear. Both of those I got probably on Amazon. I know the Prera I got on Amazon January 2024, so just wanted to try it out. Wasn't really super impressed with the size of it. The next one was a birthday pen that I got from my husband in 2022. It is here. Gorgeous. This is Penlux Masterpiece Delgado in Euploia. Euploia? I don't know how to say that word. It has a broad nib. I got this at Anderson Pens in May of 2022. My birthday is in May. And this has a beautiful broad nib. It's got rose gold trim. And as you can see, the writing sample there, it did really well with the Birmingham milkweed, which was a sample. And it has a piston filling system. So, but there's the nib. It's beautiful. Next up is the Maiora Aventus. Another one of my favorite pens of all time. This is one of the most comfortable pens I have in my collection. It has a medium nib. I got this at Vanessa Pens in March of 2024. I don't believe it's available anymore. I know it's not there anyway. This is the deep purple color. I've only inked this with purple inks. This section is really comfortable for me. I just love it. I don't know, something about it. This is a cartridge converter. Highly recommend the Maiora. I adore it. The medium nib is extremely good. Here's some writing samples. Both wonderful. It really does well. Recently sold my Lamy 2000 in black with a fine nib. I had gotten it at Atlas in November 2023. It did well writing, but then I bought the pine, so I didn't see any reason to have two Lamy 2000s in the same nib size, so I ended up selling it. The next one is my Lamy All-Star in petrol. This is the aluminum version. I have a broad nib on this, and it's very wet writer because it's a German pen. It's got a nice ink window. Doesn't have anything in there at the moment as far as converter, because I believe I used a converter in one of my currently inked pens. So we'll get to that in a minute. But I like this color a lot. This dark teal is beautiful. Here's the writing sample. When I put in a shimmer ink, it did really well. 9/24, I inked that up. September. Next up is my Edison Pen Company Collier in brown. This was a pen that I got at Trufe. Back in the day, I did the subscription box for the fountain pens, and they sent me this Edison Pen Company Collier, I'm not sure. So I've had this since 2021. It has a broad nib, beautiful nib, two-tone. It writes really well. It's cartridge converter. I definitely recommend the Collier. In fact, I have my eye on a new one that just came out, I believe, and it's fantastic. So that's on my list for sure. I think I'll get a medium nib, so I have a little bit of both. My next pen is the Monteverde Giant Sequoia. This one. This is also a Trufe pen. This is kind of a cracked ice version, the teal and the browns. Sequoia on the band there. It's got silver colored trim. This has a broad nib on it as well. And these are pens that I got in the subscription box. I did not keep all of the pens that I got in the subscription. These are two of my favorites. It's got a cartridge converter, and it's just a really nice, comfortable pen. In fact, I bought another one this year. But I'll get to it soon. This is Monteverde. Did I say that already? Yeah. It's been a while since I inked that one up. I don't have any ink samples to show you. or writing samples, I shall say. The Conklin 1898 Misto in green is one of my currently inked pens. It's the green, but yeah, I suppose it has a fair amount of green, but also a fair amount of blue. But I was happy with the one that they sent me. It's a beautiful pen. It's a really nice size. It's very comfortable. I got this at Atlas in 2023, and I have a medium nib on here. I like their little moon-shaped breather hole. This is also cartridge converter. I currently have this inked up with a Birmingham. Oh, I can do a writing sample. This does tend to dry out a little bit. This is Birmingham Pen Company in terracotta. That broad nib is so smooth and so wet. Really nice. The next one is my Conklin All-American in wood. This has a sad story. I do have a crack in the cap, and I have not contacted them about it yet. I don't have a nib in here. I had taken it out and put it in something else. This is a cartridge converter, solid wood body. It has this dark ruthenium trim and nib, and I had gotten it with a broad. It has a broad nib. And I got it at Goulet Pens in 2020, so I've had this pen for quite a while. I really need to reach out to Conklin and see if they can replace the cap. I'm sure that was an over-tightening issue on my part. My Pelikan was my Grail pen back in 2021. I saved up, sold a bunch of pens in order to purchase this from Apple Boom in September of 2021. It's the green and white limited edition M605 with a broad nib. These have beautiful Pelikan 14 karat gold nibs, I believe. This is another one that I always feel weird about putting a different color in. But the last time I inked it was in January, and I had put in this Kyo Ono Oto Hisoku ink in it, and it was just a little watery, so not really the best option for ink for this pen, but I definitely want to do something fun like Momo Pink from Tachia or Pink Radish from Van Diemen. Something like that in this pen could be really fun. Maybe for March. My Pelikan Twist was just something I ordered on Amazon just to check it out. This is not a fancy pen, nor is it expensive. I got this in April of 2023. It has a medium nib that writes very well, although I think it has kind of an architectural feeling to it, like an architectural nib. I don't know if you can see it in the writing sample, but it does write very well, very smooth. There is a bit of feedback, which I think in the beginning kind of freaked me out, so I did end up using some micro mesh on this nib, and that seemed to fix that feedback issue. But this is Purple Mystic, right? Shine Mystic. This is the purple Shine Mystic version. Would I buy another one of those? No, probably not. Will I keep it forever? No, probably not. All right, one of my small maker pens, which it might be one of my only ones. It might be my only one. Yeah, I believe it is. This is from Little Pen Designs. They're on Etsy. Check them out. I got this in November of 2023. This is their Deep Space Delights blank. And it's got that beautiful, chunky, holographic glitter in it. It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I'm so happy I have this. It's one of my favorites. I have a medium nib on this. The nib is just your basic, unmarked Yovo nib. I've inked this up quite a few times. It does have a little bit of staining on the threads, which kind of annoys me, but what are you going to do? It was probably one of these pinks that did that to it, but you can see it does really well with these just basic inks, non-shimmer. But I probably would not hesitate in putting a shimmer in this pen. The next up is a sold pen, Delta Duna Her Yellow Horizon. I sold this on eBay in 2024. I had originally got it at Atlas. It wrote really well, but I believe I wanted to sell a few pens to buy a pen. So that's why I moved that one off from my collection. Next one is my Platinum, another absolute favorite. This is a pen that I bought on Amazon. Got a great deal on it there. I bought it in March 2023. This is the Chenesao White, the Platinum 3776 Century. Has a 14 karat gold broad nib. Would I buy another one? Absolutely. Would I get it in a broad? Absolutely. I love this nib. It has just a wonderful feedback to it, and it works really well. It's very smooth. It does really well with this Tono and Limbs ink. That was a favorite for sure that in January. Love that one. I sold my Platinum Preppy in white, along with some other like inexpensive pens. Next one is my Esterbrook SD. This was a swap that I did. I swapped this with my friend Tina. And now, of course, I can't remember what I sent to her. But it was another similar style pen. Back in March in 2024. She sent me this one. It has a journaler nib, which is kind of a fun thing to try out. I haven't inked it too many times. It has a medium nib. Like I said, it's a journaler grind. This has a converter, cartridge converter. It's got the gold trim. Just a really fun color. I love the petrified forest color. This pen doesn't dry out, which is really nice. I have another SD coming to me soon, so that's exciting. I won't tell you which one, so it'll be a surprise. But that's a nice addition to my collection. Another Esterbrook. My Esterbrook, where are you? Model J in Palm Green. Love this pen. Absolutely adore it. I love this model, the Model J. I like it even better than the SD just because it's a little bit thicker. This is the Palm Green. It's got a medium nib, gold trim. I love this hammered brass accent on the pen body. I got this at Atlas in May of 2024, and the medium nib is very smooth, writes great. This is a cartridge converter. I've inked it up 3 times since the summer, which is a lot for me. Here's the writing samples. I liked it with the purple. It was really nice and fun, but I've also done a couple of greens. Okay, I sold my Sailor 1911S in yellow and black with a zoom nib. It was just too small. But I did really enjoy the zoom nib, so eventually would like to get another zoom nib on a Sailor. I had gotten it at Pen Chalet in 2021, but now the page is dedicated to a new Kaweco Sport that I got this past fall when I went to Rhinebeck in the Hudson Valley. They have a tea store, Harney and Sons, and they have their, I don't know, is it their flagship store? Probably is. And this is one of the pens that I had there at the tea shop, believe it or not. When you see a fountain pen in a tea shop, you get it. I love this color. It's not showing accurately on the screen because obviously, but it is quite similar to my Esterbrook SD and Funky Lake. Pretty much the same color. This has a medium nib. It's got the silver colored nib. I don't have any, oh no, I have a converter in here. I inked it up recently in October with Marine. It's a great pairing, perfect match. My Sailor Pro Gear for a long time was my most expensive pen in my collection. And it's the Refresh model collab with Yoseka Stationery. And it's just this beautiful light blue color with coral, transparent coral finials. And the Yoseka. This was the second in the series that they've done. It's got a 21 karat gold broad nib, and it's wonderful. This is definitely a favorite pen in my collection. Cartridge converter. I only have one ink. This is the one that I like to ink up with Urban Corel de Tropique. I don't know what I was talking about. Although I have put that ink in that Twsbi before, but this is fun with the coral color ink, but I don't have any writing samples in the coral. But this is when I inked it up in November with Dominant Industry, which is kind of a very light ink, even in that broad nib. Sailor Pro Gear. Oh my gosh, we're at 35 minutes, and I got a ways to go. This is going to be a long upload. Let me see if I can make this a little bit quick. This is my Sailor Pro Gear Imperial Black with a medium nib. This has the ruthenium trim, which I love. 21 karat gold. I got this for a steal, like $160 on Amazon. It was great. I got it in May of 2024. I've enjoyed inking it up with some purple, and it's done really well with shimmer, and it's definitely a favorite. My Leonardo Memento Zero Grande is inked up currently. This is the Primary Manipulation by Jonathan Brooks. I have this with I believe I ordered it with a broad nib, and then I ordered a medium nib for it, so I have both. And I got this at Pen Chalet in August of 2023. I would love to buy another one in the matte finish, but I don't know if they'll be producing more of these. It's got a Yovo nib. No, it's got a Leonardo nib. It's a Leonardo. And this is a piston filler, so you can see the ink window there. And I have this currently inked up with no. I have this inked up with a diamine ink. Diamine. Winterberry. Which is a beautiful red that has some shimmer. Next up, Leonardo La Piccolina. That was a beautiful pen, but I ended up selling it. It's just too small for my hands. It had a medium nib. I sold it on eBay 2024, but I had bought it from Leonardo directly in May of 2024. And you can see the writing sample. It wrote wonderfully, and I really loved the look of the pen. It was just so small, and yeah. Next up is my Fine Writing International. I thought about selling this for a while. I had it listed on eBay, but I think I'm going to go ahead and keep it. This is the Finestro from Fine Writing International. It's got a broad nib on it. I also used a zoom nib from the Good Blue in it, and that worked really well as well. This is from Jet Pens from January 2024. It's a demonstrator with gold trim. And here's a writing sample. It works really well. So I figured I'll probably keep it. I did sell my Fine Writing International Penket in Jade on eBay. That had a really nice, smooth, broad nib. And I do have some regret in selling that one. I think if I had the opportunity, I would get another one. I also sold my Franklin-Christoph Model 2 intrinsic with the primary manipulation on the section and on the finial. Sold that on eBay. Just to buy other pens, you know, that's how it goes. I did keep one Franklin-Christoph, though, in my collection. It's this Model 31 in neon yellow and salmon glow. It has a broad nib, but I believe I have bought other nibs for it. That nib is seated really low in there, so I don't know if that's normal. No, it's a screw in, so I guess it's normal. But yeah. This has a little bit of water in there. I should probably dry that out. But I inked this up. I got this at Franklin-Christoph in February 23. It's very wet. Did really well with this shimmer ink from Tono and Limbs. My Opus 88 Demo in green is one of my favorite pens. This was a limited edition for 2024. I believe it's still available. Also came in a pink version, which I would actually like to have someday. I got this at Van Ness Pens in February of 2024. It has a medium nib, but I also have a broad nib for it. And it's, I believe this is the medium, so the broad must be a black nib. I've inked this up several times, all wonderful experiences, because it is just one of the best writers and so comfortable. I think I really loved it the most with Colorverse Brain. My Opus 88 Demo in clear was another one that I bought because I just loved the green one so much, and so I wanted one that I could put any color in. So this I got from Yoseka in 2024. It has a medium nib. Just the Opus 88s are just so great. I just love all of them that I've ever had. Here's some writing samples. Did really well with all those inks. I did sell my Opus 88 Coloro beige and teal with a medium nib. I just did not like that nib at all. It was very bouncy. Here's some writing samples. That was my birthday pen from 2024, sadly. But Jinhao 9019 Dadao in transparent red. That's another favorite. I have the fine nib on this. It's an Amazon purchase from 2023. It's got a beautiful two-tone fine nib and it writes wonderfully. These 9019s are so girthy and they hold so much ink in this extra large converter. Highly recommend this pen. In fact, I have a green one ordered, but something's going on with my Amazon order and it's not showing up. So that's a good one. Here's some writing samples. It does really well with shimmer or any ink, really. I also have a green one. Maybe I sold the green one. I must have. Alright, well, I'll have to note that that one is no longer in my collection. But that one wrote really well as well. Also had a fine nib. It was kind of a teal color. Then I had another one that was white and another one that was yellow, but I sold those on eBay this year. I had a Jinhao 100 in black lattice that I sold in 2024 that had a fine nib on it and worked really well, but just was heavy. My Jinhao 80, just wanted to try that one out. That's the dupe for the Lamy 2000. Did not love it. Sold it. Jinhao 911, stainless steel. Don't have that anymore. Jinhao 82s. These are the 4 that I have left. Oops. These are the ones I've kept. You can see some writing samples there. I have a few that are medium nibs and a few that are fude nibs. This is a fude nib, the gray. This is a medium nib. Another fude nib. And another medium nib. Those are fun. I use those quite a bit. Moonman C1 is a fude nib. This is an eyedropper fill pen. Got it on Amazon. I don't have it written down, but I think I've had this for quite a while, at least since 21. But I currently have a Goulet Pens broad nib in this pen. But I love putting shimmers in this. I haven't inked it in a while. It doesn't... I don't know. I don't know why I don't use it that much. My Moonman M300 is this red and blue one. I love the resin on this. It's got gold trim. I used to have that broad Goulet nib on this, but now I currently have the Moonman fine nib on this. I think it was because maybe I wanted to sell it. I don't know. But that's a good one too. It's fun to have. My Moonman Rodden Green, another Amazon purchase, has these beautiful little confetti bits of Rodden or mother of pearl, but I believe it's called the Rodden in green. I have the fude nib on this. But it typically has that broad Goulet nib, and you can see it's pretty broad. My Spaccianopoli Siracusano from Delta with a medium nib. This is a great pen. I love it so much. I got this at Atlas in June of 2024. It's got this beautiful bronze resin. It's got rhodium trim. It's a cartridge converter. And I highly recommend this model. I do love Delta pens. I have inked it with these inks in 2024. And it worked great for all of them. It's such a nice writer. My Leonardo Memento Zero Grande in Babao. I got at Atlas Stationer. This is such a fun resin. I love the Grande 2.0 Memento Zero. It's just such a good pen. This is a piston filler, so you can see the ink window there. This is a number 2085, a limited edition. And some ink writing samples. This has a medium nib in it. My Netuno 1911, another favorite. This is the Anemone colorway. It's the NE 2.0. It's got a medium nib. I love the nib. It's so beautiful. This is also cartridge converter. And I highly recommend a Netuno. You should definitely check out that brand. It's got a beautiful finial. I have number 243. I just really love this resin. It's gorgeous. Twsbi Vac Mini in Smoke. Okay, I'm back. Here is the Twsbi. It's got some water in there. Vac Mini in Smoke with a medium nib. I got this at Vanessa Pens in July of 2024. And I really liked my piston filler mini. And so I figured it would be fun to have a vac filler as well. And I just knew I was getting a quality pen. It has a medium nib. Did I say that already? I gotta see if I can get the water out of there. It writes really well, and it's been inked up a few times. And it worked really well with all of those inks. My Leonardo Memento Zero Golden Abalone. This is a special edition from Atlas, an exclusive from July of 2024. I pre-ordered this little pen, and this is just the straight Memento Zero, not the Grande. It has a ruthenium trim, the black ruthenium trim. And I got a medium nib on this, and it's beautiful. It writes like a dream. I got number 117 out of 150. And I was really happy with the one that I got. You know, it's always a crapshoot. You never know what you're going to get. But this has a nice, even design to it. I don't know. Just, I love it. It's so beautiful. And here are some writing samples. I loved it with velvet black. That was a great pairing. All right, that's book number 1. Book number 2, let's see. I had the Conklin All-American Orange Sunburst. I was going to sell this, decided to keep it. So this has a medium nib. This is the All-American. I got it on Amazon, $79. It's got a great nib, very smooth. I bought it in 2024. And I just loved that bright orange color. I inked it a few times with different oranges, and it did well with all of them. Benu, my Benu Talisman Lily of the Incas. I got this from Venice in July of 2024. I just love this color so much. The purple and the glitter and this bright, awesome pink. I got a medium nib on this. It's got just a silver toned nib. This is currently inked. But here are some of the colors that I have put in it, and it did well with that shimmer, the journalized shimmer. But right now I have Momo Pink in it, and it is a-okay. Love it so much. Leonardo Pen Chalet Forged Patina is one of their exclusives. And I would have liked mine to have more of the teal, but it's okay. It's a lovely pen either way, and I just didn't feel the need to return it. So Pen Chalet, it's called Forge Patina. This is just the Memento Zero, much like this one is also Memento Zero. And just to compare the Memento Zeros with the Grande, you can see a bit of a difference there. This has a medium nib. Oh, this doesn't have any ink in it. But it's medium nib. I inked it up last in January, and I put sesame oil in it, and it worked really well with that. A little bit wetter with these other inks, but still gorgeous. My Endless Pens Kilk. This is one of their hatch pens, which is when they collaborate with a different designer, and it's the Lady Bastet. So it's got cat on the clip, on the finial, and this beautiful hieroglyph around. This is a stainless, or not stainless, this is a sterling silver band. So they give you a polishing cloth for that. I got number 23 out of 50. And this has a medium nib. And it's a cartridge converter. Just a beautiful resin. I got this in August 2024. And it was to commemorate the loss of my cat Django. But it's got a really beautiful diamond cast resin. I can't remember the company that did the resin, but here's some samples. It didn't really do great with the Robert Oster Sidewalk Gum. I haven't had great luck with that ink. Kaweco Sport Dark Green, that's this little guy, has a medium nib in a gold tone. I got it at Nico Neko Zakaya online in August 2024, and it did really well with this Ink Institute Jadeite, just high sheening ink. Maiora Ultra Ogiva Teti is this beautiful. I love the Maiora brand, I tell you. I got a medium nib. Look at how beautiful that number 10 nib is. I think it's a number 10. And it's titanium. And it writes so nice. I love it. Had a little bit of a problem in the beginning. There's a video up on my channel where I talked about how I had to heat set the ebonite feed. But we did it. We got it. And now it works great. I got this at Atlas in 2024. And here's some writing samples. A definite favorite. Good Made Better is a company that I adore. I love the ebonite material that they use, and they create this like wood texture to it. It's just so good. It has Good Made Better on the cap here. This is the full size in green. It's got a ruthenium black nib, I bought this in August 2024. Here are the writing samples. Magna Carta Denima was one I've had my eye on for a while. This is a really nice size pen. A really nice sized pen. And I love the blue and orange. I believe it's the Denima and it's in orange. It's got this beautiful texture to it, and it is actually made from a denim fabric. Magna Carta doesn't really have great nibs that I've had so far, but this one is medium steel nib. I got it at Pen Chalet. Here are the writing samples. I think it would be really fun to put a blue in there, so I'm looking for the perfect one. Esterbrook SD in Funky Lake. Back to Land series. It's got a medium nib. I got it at Venice in August of 2024. I love the brown accents. And, you know, SD is just a really great pen. These are the writing samples. And it does really well with anything I put in it. Sailor. Here's another cigar-shaped pen. This one is the ringless 1911 large in the Galaxy version, and the colorway is Andromeda, which is like this bronze color. It's got dark ruthenium trim. It has a 21 karat gold nib. Yep. I got it at Atlas, and it is a wonderful pen. Definitely a keeper. Love the Sailors lately. Never thought I would say that. Twsbi Eco in Irish Green was a relatively new addition to my collection. I got it in September 2024. This has the dark, what do they call it? Ebony trim? No, it's black, basically. This has a medium nib. Right? It's currently inked for February. And it's a keeper. Absolutely love this one. Here are the writing samples. Oops. Irish Green. Twsbi Eco Cream Rose Gold has a 1.1 stub nib and rose gold trim. I got this at Atlas in October. And I am still working on my handwriting with this nib. For some reason I struggle. But it looks great with the shimmer inks. Navalor Original Plus in Matira Quartz has a fine nib, and this is currently inked. I can do a writing sample for you. This has a fine nib, rose gold nib. It's beautiful. But I have to say I'm not super thrilled with the narwhal pens in general. I'm not even really a fan of the fine nib. But I have this inked with Pilot, Iroshizuku, Yamabudo. Yeah, it's okay. But I'm just not a fine person. Fine nibbed person. It did really good with that Kobe ink. But this is super fine. It almost seems like extra fine to me. I don't know that I will keep that pen for too long. But I got it at Atlas in 2024. My Asvine V126 was an Amazon purchase in October of 2024. It has a medium nib, but it is the wettest nib I mean, it's definitely more of a broad medium. It's got this beautiful black nib, which I just love. And this is a vac filler. And it's the dupe for, you know, the Custom 823. Here are the writing samples. You can see how wet that is. Does really well with shimmer inks. My Mahjong black and white, I inked this up one time. I'm not interested in keeping this. I'm going to be selling it on Amazon or on eBay most likely. I inked it with platinum carbon black. It's got a very, very fine nib on it. It doesn't have any ink in there. It feels cheap to me. It's plastic and it's very lightweight and cheap feeling. I was kind of hoping I could switch out the nib unit, but you can't. Here's another Lamy. This is the LX version. I wanted to try out the LX versus the AL Star, the All Star. I would have to say I don't see much of a difference. It's got an aluminum body with this kind of beautiful rose gold trim. It's got a black nib. It writes wonderfully. No complaints. Definitely a keeper. Here are the writing samples. Loved it with the Yutsumabame. It was just like the best match. Got it at Yuseka 2024. My Lamy 2000 limited edition in pine has a fine nib. I got it at Dromgools in October of 2024, and it's wonderful, as I knew it would be. Because I had already had a Lamy 2000 and it wrote wonderfully. Here is the writing sample. I put in the wet pen, Gasworks Park, and it wrote lovely. Definitely a keeper. Opus 88 Omar. Another Opus 88 chonky pen. This is the clear in a medium nib with the black trim. I love the black, matte black accents on this. Wish the nib was matte black. That'd be so cool. But it's just their typical steel nib. I got this in 2024. I had inked it with this Colorverse Docto. Great pen. I ended up returning my Montegrappa Tarvisium, which you would see in my most recent currently inked video. The Carson colorway was purple. It was so beautiful. But I had used that pen for a couple of days and realized that it dried out overnight every single night. Dried completely out, and I would have to either prime the feed or dip the nib or dip it in water or something to get it to write. And I just don't have that kind of, I don't have patience for that kind of stuff. I did reach out to Atlas because I bought this with affiliate money and they allowed me to return it. However, I couldn't exchange it because they're not selling that model anymore. Turns out the cap was really not sealing very well. I tried blowing into it and also filling it with water, and the water dripped out of where the cap meets the clip and also out of the finial, the metal finial at the top. So a lot of air getting in, very dried out. So I sent it back, and the replacement that I am getting is an Esterbrook Esty in the Once in a Blue Moon, or is it just Blue Moon? So that hopefully is coming soon once they get my pen back. Monteverde Giant Sequoia. I got another one because I just loved the one that I got at Truffet. So here they are side by side. You can tell what colors I really enjoy, but anyway, this is considered the green, and I got a medium nib, and I got this at Gold Spot Pens, And this was a great pairing. The Wayfarer by Wearingeul has a bit of shimmer to it. Initially was okay, but then I found that it didn't write that great once it got bogged down by the shimmer. So I probably won't put shimmer in this one again going forward. Asvine 126, V126 in amber. That's the one I tried to tell you was a Pilot A23, and it's not. This is a vac filler, and I got a fine nib. I got this on Amazon in January 2025. It was $26.99. And do I love the fine? No. I think it's okay. It did okay. I don't know what I thought I was gonna be getting, but it's just okay. I may end up selling that one. I also got a couple of other Asvines just to try them out. I got the blue and brown, which is the piston filler. It's got silver trim. It's got a fine nib. I got this also in January. The piston works really nicely. The nib is okay. Didn't love this ink. I would definitely want to try something else out. And then the P20 is gorgeous. Look at the green on that. So beautiful. This is definitely going to get inked up for March. This is the P20 in green marble. I got this one with a medium nib. And don't love that one either. Don't love that nib. So I might get some nib replacements for these. Didn't love it with this Sailor Studio, which is normally a pretty good ink. And I don't know, it's very inconsistent. We're almost done, don't worry. Eco White, Twsbi Eco White is currently inked. I have a broad nib on this. I had one of these before, ended up selling it, and regretted it, so I got another one. The broad nib works really nicely. I've got it inked up with Narwhal Honeycomb, which is a shimmer, kind of a coral color. Got this at Atlas 2025, January. Highly recommend. My Lamy LX in Palladium is also currently inked and also very new. I got this from Van Ness in January 2025. This is the Palladium color. I got a medium nib. It's the black nib, which I really love. And I inked it with an Industry Earl Grey tea, and it works great. Love that color in it. Can do any color in it, which is why I chose that Palladium color. I love it. Couple more. Kaweco, my Kaweco Supra in Fire Blue. I love this pen so much. I had been wanting a Supra for a long time. Almost got the black one on several occasions, but ended up getting the Fire Blue. This has a large Kaweco nib. Wanted to try that out, and it works so nice. January 2025 from Atlas Stationers. This pen is so fun because I can make it into a pocket pen by, I have a cartridge in here, by taking off this little section here and putting this back on. Now look at her. She's so little. And then you can make it into a regular pen by doing that. It's a great pen. Super duper. Really, really nice nib. I got a medium and it writes beautifully. I inked it with Tachia Ume Murasaki, which is a sample that I have, and it is wonderful. The only thing that is weird about this pen to me is that the step. I don't understand why they couldn't have made that more smooth transition, but that's just me. Love the Fire Blue. It's a weighty pen. It's beautiful. This is, the next one is my Kilk. This is also a Hatch exclusive from Endless Pens. This is Dusk. This was designed by, I'll put it on the screen because I forget the name. It's got a medium nib. I have it currently inked with a shimmer from Van Diemen called Moonlit Lake. And it's beautiful. Got this in January 2025 and it's gorgeous. Doesn't really show very well on camera, but it is just stunning. And then finally, my newest pen is this Memento Zero by Leonardo. This is one that I got with affiliate money from Atlas, and this is the Jade colorway. It's got gold trim, a gold toned nib in broad. I used to have a sea glass Esty, and I was thinking that this color was going to be similar to that, but that one has a little bit more blue in it. And this is a little bit more yellowy green, which I love. I picked out an ink that is perfect for it. So I bought a bottle of Colorverse Walk the Dog. And it's a great pairing that's currently inked. February 2025. You just can't go wrong with the Leonardo Memento Zeros. They are all so wonderful. And that, my friends, is my fountain pen collection. I'm sorry for such a long video. Let's show you some collections within the collection, just so you can see how they all look together. Here's my Kawecos. They're so cute. Here are my Twsbis. My sailors. Let's look at the sailors. Small but mighty. My Esterbrook's. And my newest fourth one will be coming soon in Blue Moon. My Lamys. My Lamy 2000. Let's see what else. Pilots, my pilots. Do I have any more? I thought I had more pilots. Maybe not. I think I need more pilots in my life. Don't you? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry for such a long video. It's probably going to take me forever to upload it. But I've been wanting to do this video for a really long time. And if you have any thoughts on my collection, or if you want to know if I forgot to share certain info, or if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. My collection morphs and changes every month because I just like trying new things, trying new pens. But I am quite happy with my collection at this point. And I think that it's going to be kind of when one comes in, one goes out kind of a situation. Because I think 75 pens is adequate. I mean, it's a lot. It's more than I need, obviously. but it's fun to collect. I recently realized that I have to pick and choose who I talk to about my collection, or obsession, if you want to call it that, because I was talking to someone that knows nothing about fountain pens, and when she heard me talk about some of the prices, she could just not believe. She could not believe it. And it is true, but it is a collection. They are collectible items. They are also usable, so for me, it's just been a really fun pastime, but I can see how it is, you know, not for everyone. So, anyway, thanks so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you want to see more of content like this. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.